The Bama Standard is on the air. Before we get started, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, get in the comment section below. We'll get to those after the show. We have two of the most feared defenders in Alabama and college football histories. Defenders who didn't just beat people, they broke people. We're talking about the bookends, two Alabama legends that quarterbacks absolutely hated seeing on Saturdays. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while, but we got them back in the studio. John Copeland and Eric Curry. Welcome in, fellas.
Appreciate it, man.
Yo.
Thanks for having us.
What's up?
Hey, before we get started, we talked a little bit backstage about it. John Copeland, you were recently inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Long overdue. It finally happened, brother. Congratulations. Well deserved, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Before this Hall of Fame, man, I was happy with my career. I was happy the way things turned out. So,
you know, I live in Atlanta. I'm mad I didn't get an invite to this one.
Lassic, man, you just like Dirty Harry, man. You stay in the wind. Nobody know where you at, man.
Oh man, I'm a phone call away, man. Deuce got a hold of me, and I went to his.
I called him too. Can't get a hold of him neither. I ain't never seen so many guys as old as we are stay as busy as these guys, man.
EC, you hear me? If you when you get inducted into Bama Hall of Fame, holla at me. I'm gonna be there.
He'll be there next year.
So I'll open it up. It wasn't if, it was when it came to sacking the quarterback for you two. The famous phrase was, meet you at the quarterback. So how competitive did it get between you two when it came to taking down the quarterback? Or did y'all just play rock, paper, scissors to decide who was going to get the sack at that given moment?
The competition was never who's going to get to the quarterback. The competition always was who's going to win in the drills. During the summer workout, that was the biggest competition between me and Eric. We always went with each other. I was trying to beat him. He was trying to beat me. Sometimes I won. Sometimes he won. So when it was game time, that part was easy. We had already put in the work. We had did everything we needed to do to be successful on the field. So game time was easy.
Well, I hate that Eric's not here, but I'm gonna ask this question anyway. When you all were playing Florida, Willie Gaston throws the shoe when you could have been off the field. What was going through your mind?
The funny thing about that, Marvin, if anybody on that team was going to do some stupid shit, it was going to be Willie Gaston. So we kind of understood that. I mean, of course, everybody was mad, but it made more sense that it was Willie Gaston.
You guys were synonymous. Like, you didn't say one name without the other with the bookends, but you being in the game and seeing the evolution of the defensive end, the way the defense has changed since you guys played, it was more of a 8 guys, 9 guys in a box, cloud of dust. How have you seen the evolution of defensive end in your years? And do you still fit the modern defensive end, or would you play a different position now?
Yeah, I think I'm still a defensive end. I also think Eric is still a defensive end because the game doesn't change, man. You win in the trenches. If you got guys that can stop the run and you got guys that can stop the pass. Usually in today's football, those are 2 separate guys. Well, me and Eric was really good at both. So we never had to change guys in run situation or pass situation, which you don't see a lot of that today. Usually on third down, they're bringing in different groups of guys that rush the passes. But me and Eric could stop the run, and we was also effective rushing the quarterback.
Oh, to ask Cope a question? Hey, Cope. Now, they say the game has changed a lot. Like you said, it really hasn't changed. You got to pass the ball. You got to run the ball. They do a lot more passing nowadays. So do you think your stats would be better today, or do you think they were better back when we played when, like they said, it was 8 men in the box, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? We did play a high-powered offense in Miami and Florida, and if I can remember correctly, we shut them down.
But it's the thing, Lassic, that people don't really look at when they look at that defense, and everybody in that era, they think about everybody is running the football, trying to run it between tackles, and that is true in most cases. But in our case, it wasn't true because if we got a three-point lead, 6-point lead, they had to throw the football. because they couldn't run the football on it, which made them throw it a lot more than people at that time was throwing the football. So it gave us a lot of chances to get quarterback sacks because once nobody was going to run the football on us. It just wasn't going to happen. And if the offense got a lead, and they had to throw it if they wanted to move the football. So we was able to rush the quarterback a lot more than people probably would think because of our run defense. But the game, man, look, the thing that made that defense really, really good was the twitch. Everybody on that defense was really, really twitchy, man. We had guys that could run no matter the position. If you look at a team now they have the big guys up there trying to stop the run on certain down. And then they have to take those guys and put in the pass rushers. Everybody on our defense was twitchy. We didn't have to take guys out. The only guy came in and off the field was Jeremy Longley and James Gregory. Other than that, everybody on that defense was twitchy. Everybody could run. Everybody could hit. Everybody played with leverage. And we was great because we had guys, man, that could absolutely fly to the football.
And Nunley and Gregory came out not because of a situation, just to keep the guys fresh.
Exactly. To answer your question directly, yeah, I think this football today, we probably wouldn't be very good at today's football because of all the bullshit penalties and shit. You can't hit guys no more. You can't, I don't know how we would fare in that kind of, I don't know how we would fare with those kind of rule changes.
Yeah, because y'all was coming for heads.
Yes.
Well, let's get to the big part right here. Everybody wants to hear about Miami. So let's talk about the road leading up to beating Miami's ass. What all went into that? They came into New Orleans, feel like they already won the game. All they had to do was just show up. They had 2 live crew on their sideline doing their thing, man. It was dumb. But by the end of the night, you guys had them absolutely broken. So I want to know what went into all of that.
Nothing. The thing that went into all of that, we turned around and handed the ball to number 25. That's why we were so successful. Listen, seriously, defensively, we knew they was good, but we knew it was better up front defensively. We didn't know how the offense was going to play. Lassic had the game of his life, man. Jay's just turning around and handed to Lassic, man, and he 8 clock, putting it in the end zone. Derrick Lassic is one of the huge reasons we won that football game the way we did.
Well, and John, I don't think he gets enough credit because come to find out all these years later, after eating some wings with one Roosevelt Patterson last year, Miami knew he was getting the ball every damn time because Roosevelt was telling them, we're about to run it right here.
That makes sense, though, but everybody in the country knew who was getting the ball. I mean, it wasn't a secret.
I'm in the huddle saying, Roosevelt, shut the hell up, man.
Classic. Roosevelt 30, 40 yards downfield blocking. Man, we couldn't get Roosevelt to run sprints in practice.
I was going to ask, his personality's larger than life. Did y'all ever go against each other in practice?
Yeah, he was the right tackle. I was the left end. We went together every day, especially in pass rush, pass pro.
What is it, just a war every day?
Man, it was good, man. Rose is a good player, man, but I was out of there by the league, though, man. Rose is a good player, though. He's a good player. Rose played good, man. He was a really good player. If you look at the entire offensive line, man, we was really small, even for that time, right? Lassic, how long you been a part of this?
About 3 weeks now.
He's already making demands, too.
Is he? Hey, look.
You know how running backs are, John.
Look, he's from upstate New York now. He's bougie as hell now.
Hey, listen, I told them to keep Marvin on mute while we got this thing going.
he's bougie as hell.
I ain't bougie. Stop that, Cope. I ain't bougie.
I don't know.
Yeah, he is.
I just ain't country. You know what I'm saying? Cope,
exactly.
How was it coming from junior college to Bama and playing in the SEC?
From Hines Junior College here in Mississippi.
Man, you're not gonna believe this, but when I got to Alabama during the spring, I got hurt during the spring, but when I came in that fall, it was easy. It was easy because If you go down to that Mississippi junior college circuit, it's everybody last stop. Everybody last stop. So everybody's bringing their best every single day. If you're an out-of-state kid, back then they was only taking 5 kids, I think. If you screw up, they're gonna send your tail back home. So everybody in that little circuit, man, it was tough, and the coaching was unreal. Well, I mean, not so much technical, but grit. Just work the shit out of you. And we get to Alabama, and at the end of practice, Coach Sullivan said we got 10 40s. I started laughing. 10 40s? That's it? That's what we're doing? 10 40? We would have ran 40 in Mississippi.
The prison league.
Now, I'm telling you, man, hey, that what it was like, though. I'm telling you, that's what it was like. It was tough, man. It was hot. It was hot, man, and just miserable. Everybody broke. It was bad.
Yeah, I had several friends played at East Central, Kahoma, East Mississippi. Yeah, we called it the prison league. That's what we called it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just like that. But when you get them dogs come out of there, you're going to know. My first practice in the fall at Hines Community College, we're in tour days. We're doing Oklahoma. Coach Murphy, who's the head coach, he said, I want to see John Copeland up here. So he put me up there. I go against his offensive lineman. I feel like I'm hot shit. I beat the offensive lineman, hit my running back. He ran me, slapped the fuck over. When I opened my eyes, all I saw was Coach Murphy leaning over me saying, you ain't in high school no more, son. No shit.
Well, who the hell was that running back, Copeland?
Tracy Minifield. Tracy Minifield from Montgomery, Lee Montgomery.
He must have he left an impression on you. Remember his first and last name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, there was some dogs down there, man. There was some dogs down there. When I got to Alabama, man, they got training table and they eat 3-4 times a day and
damn
snacks. They got snacks. And I'm like, shit.
They got this guy from upstate New York who's bougie.
Exactly. Exactly. I was like, man,
who tried to take on Derek Thomas in practice, and we knew how that went.
Yeah, DT was a dog though.
So, Cope, I gotta ask this question. You know, y'all brought up DT. So, you know, knowing that guy was ahead of you, and as great as he was in the single season that he had, what was 27 sacks or something like that, did he ever pour into you all, that younger generation, to give you some of what he had?
I never really had a relationship with him like that. You know, he did come back, and the guys that he knew, he talked to and hung out with and did stuff. Now, he bought stuff for us to have a good time, but I never really had a real relationship with him because we didn't know each other like that.
I got to bring up the game against Mississippi State in 1992. Of course, being an Alabama fan here in Mississippi around that time, it's very hard. And I was getting really nervous. Antonio Langham told me this story. We were down late, and there's a TV timeout. And you're not the rah-rah guy. You usually don't do all that. But Langham said that you had a strong conversation with everybody in the huddle, and you're letting some words fly. And ultimately just turned the whole game around for you guys defensively. Can you talk about that?
They had us, man. They had us. They came out the second half. We had got a little lax defensively. Offense wasn't doing well. They had all the momentum. The crowd was in it. And I don't know, man. You know, sometimes when you're in the moment, it just snap. And I just start cursing everybody the fuck out. EC too. He's sitting over there looking all stupid and shit. I'm like,
he ain't here to defend.
like, yeah. I just told him eventually. I just told him, I'll just move the fuck out of the way. I'll win it by myself.
I know you got on the tee. I know his jersey was the cleanest in the huddle, right?
Yeah, I was mad, man. I was really, really mad. And I don't usually get like that, but I was mad as fuck. Because them boys shouldn't even be on the same field with us.
You know that was their Super Bowl. Them boys always played us hard, man. I'm talking about.
They always played us hard.
They was on my neck. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bounce the ball outside. I'm losing 10, 12 yards. I got tired of running up in the middle. Them boys was clacking me. Bow, bow.
Man, them boys, hey, the both years I was there, man, they came down to Tuscaloosa and we beat them barely when Stacy intercepted the ball in the end zone. They was on like the 1 yard line, got jumped offside. That's why we won that game. Then we go down with a chance to win the national championship. Now we got to go through Starkville. Them boys play some ball, man. Them boys play some ball.
Well, Coach, every great team has a moment in a previous season that sets that path for them that following season. I know for me, my freshman year, we go to the Music City Bowl and it snowed the whole week. We made up our mind that week. There ain't no way in hell we doing this next year, and we end up winning the SEC championship and going to the Orange Bowl, in Miami that next year. So, what was it for you all in that '91 season that was that pivotal moment that lit that fire under you all to say, you know what, next year we're taking it all?
There was the Florida game. That was my first year at Alabama. And if you go back the year before that, Alabama had finished pretty strong. And they was high up on that horse. We was high on our horse. We come in, we play Temple, big Temple, pretty good. And we're feeling good about ourselves. I'm on the bandwagon with everybody else. Man, we go down to Florida and we get embarrassed. I'm talking about him. And look, it was so bad, Marvin. I was thinking to myself, like, fuck, what I've gotten into, man. I was getting whooped just like everybody else was getting whooped. But after that game, I would say this, after that game, the seniors, they call a players only meeting, and all the coaches had to get out the locker room and man, they laid it into everybody. They look, this ain't gonna happen. We can never be like this. We can't play like this. We can never play like this again. This can't happen. This is not who we are. And shit, man, Lassic never lost a game at Alabama after that.
And the killer part was Coach Spurrier said he was gonna beat us by 30-something points, and he was throwing.
He said, yeah, they did. He did. He did say he was gonna beat us by 30-something points. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, speaking of that, the following year, y'all whipped Miami with ease. That y'all played so loose, like it was no problem. But against Florida, it was different. I mean, that's arguably the toughest game you played the entire season. Of course, Steve Spurrier being the master of offense that he was, he makes life difficult for everyone. But Miami had arguably the best offense in the country. What was the big problem, I guess, if you can call it that, with Florida and not so much of a problem in Miami?
Because Florida played in the SEC.
Yeah.
Miami don't. There's a big difference. Big difference. Florida understand the SEC play. Florida have the same type of athletes we have in the SEC. It's totally different when you're playing the SEC school. And you got a great coach like Steve Spurrier. You got 2 pieces, 3 pieces. You got Willie Jackson, a wide receiver, Shane Matthews, and Eric Reck. Man, you can get those guys moving in the right direction. You can play different games offensively, so defense is out of position. Man, they was doing a hell of a job. They kept us off balance. They knew when to run that draw.
Shuffle pass.
We was trying to rush the quarterback. The shuffle pass too. And man, they just did a great job calling that game with the pieces that they had. Great job. Great job. We just made one more play than they did. I was more worried about that game anyway, though. Man, I don't know why people keep talking about Miami. Man, Miami was sorry as fuck. Don't you think so, Lassic? Don't you think so?
Well, I wouldn't say they were sorry as F. We just made them look bad that game. They had a lot of talent. They had a lot of players that played in the league, so I can't say they were sorry as F.
But you guys lasted longer than they did. But
yeah, we were hitting on all cylinders, man. Our game plan was incredible. I remember in practice when Coach Oliver had everybody damn near at the line of scrimmage. I was like, man, we're not gonna run that defense in the game. I mean, there were like 10 men on the line of scrimmage. I said, then I saw it in the game. I said, oh shit, he called that defense, and I think they threw it in.
It wasn't 10. It wasn't 10. It was 11. 11. We didn't have we had 11 on the line of scrimmage. But defensively, man, we knew, man. We wasn't worried about Miami, man. Miami was not. They wasn't built like that. Florida's built like that. Mississippi State built like that. Tennessee, they built like that. Miami wasn't built like that.
We figured if we could get 14 to 17 points against Miami offensively, we'd be all right. because we didn't think our defense was
That's
going to give up double figures. And
that's
you
right.
didn't really give up anything. It was a punt return they scored on, right?
That's right.
Mm.
Gino, Gino was damn near what, 5 for 3, throwing it to us.
Man, that motherfucker was trying to throw the ball so fast. You could see
Boy,
his
he was
eyes
getting rid of
come
that
to the
bitch
line.
so last he was getting rid of that bitch so fast. Right? I told us, man, hold the ball. You throwing it to us. I wanted to sack him so bad, man. I really wanted to sack him, man. That motherfucker. That's
I
fucked
guess I
up.
told him, don't
My
take a
only
sack.
championship game, and I don't get 1 sack. That's crazy.
And you mentioned, hey, Roosevelt was good, but I dominated him. I was that guy. When was the moment?
No. I did not say that. No, I did not
Come
say
on
I
now.
dominated.
That's what I'm going
I
to
did
tell him
not
when
say
we're
that.
drinking beers and eating wings in a couple of months.
We heard.
I'm gonna say,
No. I did not say that. I did not say I dominated.
me and Derrick will
I
see
didn't-
him in about a month, and I'll make sure to relay the story that you said you dominated him.
Marvin,
Yes, sir.
I did not say that. I did not say that. You didn't hear me say that.
I'm
I
with
did
you,
not
brother.
say that. Yeah,
I'm
I
with
did
you,
not
Cope.
say
I
that.
got you. I got
hell
you back,
no,
Cope.
Marvin. You being
Good.
politically correct tonight? What's wrong with you?
I know. I'm getting nervous.
Marvin's the only sensible one up there.
Oh wow.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Oh, wait.
Tables
The
have
world,
turned.
the world is spinning on its axis wrong. But look, man, on a team of giants, you and Curry, you're one of the greatest teams to ever play. And one of the first 2 names mentioned, and it was Curry and Copeland and Curry. But when was the moment, though, when you realized, man, I can do this shit at a different level than everybody else?
You don't think that. You don't ever get to a point where you say I'm the guy. If anybody ever get to that point and say I'm the guy, I'm the guy, then you already screwing yourself, man. You just go out there every week, man. You work hard, you play, just get out there and grind, man, every week. Every week you just gotta do the same thing. You don't ever get, if you ever get to the point where you think you're better than the program, then you already screwed yourself, man. It's just going out, work, man, enjoying it with my teammates, having a good time, loving playing football, and we're winning. Man, I was having a great time. Being good is all about outworking your opponent. Everybody got about the same talent, you know what I mean? So it's some work harder than others, and those that work the hardest are normally the ones that have the most success.
I took a look at David Palmer. When I saw that dude, I said, I know they ain't the dude that was doing all that against Central. Because we all went to watch him play against Central. He played quarterback, running back, wide receiver. They couldn't stop him. But if you saw him, I was like, man, that dude look like an alcoholic. He looked like Ned DeWine back in the hood. I know this dude ain't the guy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't had no muscles. He had no shape.
Man, he wasn't that damn bad, Lassic.
He didn't look like he definitely didn't look like no football player, and especially that could do all that he was doing on that field. But man, when he got that ball, only person I see can move like him is Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I guess it was during the fall. We went to the stadium for practice, and we was going to do live punt return. And Eric was like, hey, man, look at this. Look at this. They said this guy right here is pretty good. So we stands up. We'll watch him pop, and they kicked it to him. Man, like Lassic said, man, I ain't never seen nobody move like that but Barry Sanders. David Palmer was, look, Arenas was pretty doggone good. I think Arenas was really good. But the size and stature of David Palmer, to be able to do the things that he did, I don't think there's been one greater.
He ran like a mid 4.5. He wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but
wait, a mid 4.5?
Yeah, David wasn't fast.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't. No, he wasn't blazing. No, he wasn't blazing.
He was quick.
But neither was Barry, was he?
No, Barry ran a 4.4.
No, Barry was no. Barry wasn't that fast either. That's true.
No, Barry was like a 4.5 guy.
He ran a 4.4.
That combine shit's a waste of time anyway.
Oh, the slave trade.
I think the combine is as big as a waste of time.
The underwear Olympics.
Hey, Coach, remember when we was getting that? Remember the damn combine? We had to be in our underwear. They measuring our teeth, our arm length, our fingers. What's this?
That's right. Yeah. They did.
most great players, they have a full toolbox of tools, at their disposal. So what was your best attribute and how did you use it to truly make you great on the field?
That's a really good question. If I have to pick one thing out of everything, leverage. I think it was leverage. I was always able to play with good leverage in the run game and in the passing game. Fast first step is always great. Good hands, always great. But none of that really matters if you don't play with great leverage and have a good power base.
Low man wins, and again, when you're trying to do certain
right.
moves, if you're too high, the offensive lineman can get those hands on you, and it's over because
right.
Once they get them hands on you, they're gonna hold the hell out of you, and they're not letting go.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
As a teammate watching him play, their motor. I don't know if it's because they fed off each other, but them cats never looked like they got tired. They came off the ball the same way in the fourth quarter as they did in the first quarter.
And that's what I was saying earlier about twitchy, man. We were so twitchy. Everybody could run. Everybody. When you hear commentators talking about, they're really fast defensively. Everybody run. No, that's an understatement. Everybody on the defense could run. Men EC was running 4.6s and 4.7 at 285 pounds. Everybody could run on that defense. It was crazy.
8 of the defensive players end up playing in the NFL. 8 out of
For a long
11.
time.
That's right. That's right. It was crazy. I mean, God put his hands on that, man, because there's no way all of us was in the same place at the same time doing the same thing to create that. God put his hand on that.
I think the year before, like Marvin alluded to, that Florida game brought us close together. We became a real close-knit family. And was nobody going to break that up, man. We had a goal.
Yes, we did.
We wanted to achieve that goal, and we're going to do whatever it took together to get that goal.
Like during the summer last week, we always hung out together as a team. Everything we did it as a team.
That's it.
Everything.
Barbecuing.
That's it. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at barbecuing. Okay, that's enough.
Then that means there's more than barbecuing, but we'll never know, at least on air.
I feel young now because Lassic referred to Marvin as a young buck, and man, we're the same age. And I actually kind of put
Marvin is a young buck.
I know, but I put Marvin in the same vein as you guys because there's a little bit of connection. When I moved to Tuscaloosa, 94, and when I moved, it was Hillcrest, and I walked in, and they had pictures of D.O. all over the place because Odin played at Hillcrest, and they had him in his Hillcrest, and then Alabama, and then his Eagles. And I've told this story way too many times, but then I opened up the newspaper, and there's this Mike Tyson-looking bastard named Marvin Constant. And man, Marvin, my question though is, you weren't far after these legends, and you were you were
Marvin.
on your
Before
way.
you answer that, Marvin, I'm gonna say this about Marvin. I came back to campus. It might have been a spring game, and the transition from guys like me and Derrick. Then there was a transition where guys was much bigger, much stronger. Mm-hmm. Marvin was a part of that class. And I come back and I see this guy. I'm like, holy shit. You remember how big? And he played linebacker. He was huge.
Well, I saw his picture in the newspaper, John, and almost quit high school football. So there you go.
Played at 245 in high school and college.
Ooh, woo. Linebacker?
But he
could run.
He was rocked up like the Dean from Fantastic Photo.
I mean, that wasn't your typical high school senior because I benched 460 and squatted 600 pounds and ran a legitimate 4.40. So
I heard you was up in that belt. I heard you was in that belt.
You bench how much?
In high school, 460.
You bench how much?
460 in high school. When I got to Alabama my freshman year, I benched 545.
Oh, you were doing that. You were doing that deer antler spray back then.
No. It's all genetics, man. I'll say Coach Howard Busby, man. That dude was amazing. He got us on those weights in middle school. So by the time I was a freshman in high school, I was already benching 325. So it wasn't even fair from that point forward. So, but yeah, he had a weight room program, and we had a 400-pound bench press club in high school. We had a 600-pound squat club. There was so many of us. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they were bending over after practice getting them shots.
Sir, this is all genetics and hard work, baby. All genetics and hard work.
That's crazy, man. I mean, Justin Fowler, man, them two of the biggest human beings I've seen at that time.
Well, Marvin, you did grow up in the shadows. What did all these guys mean to you? How did they help motivate you even more when you were becoming that guy in Tuscaloosa?
I grew up selling Cokes in Bryant-Denny Stadium. So I would often sell Cokes the first and second quarter and watch football the second half of every game. Because usually by then I had enough money to go buy my lunch or whatever I needed to go do that day. That was the whole reason for me selling Cokes. But they were very pivotal and instrumental in my development and in terms of me picking Alabama over a lot of schools, because watching these guys and the level of play that they played, the way they played defense was different. Not everybody knows how to play defense. Some people go out there and they'll tackle, they'll take you to the ground. But then there's a level of physicality that this unit had. That's what I enjoyed more than anything, man. The way they not only got to the ball, when they got there, you knew that they were there. So, for me, it was like, okay, that's how you got to do it. That's how I want to do it. That 92 defense was something special. And it's just like when people were talking about the Alabamas of, under Coach Saban, a 9-6 game. Those are the games that I love, defense. And that's what they epitomized, defense. That's what led that team. So for me, man, they paved the way for me. They showed me the way to be great.
$1 million question, Marvin. Would you have broke the starting lineup on that 92 team? You had to take out Derek Oden or John Sellins?
I would have.
Eric, you want to weigh in on that?
Well, here's the thing. And I don't say that to be joking. I mean, because there was an All-American linebacker ahead of me at Alabama that transferred because he knew he wasn't going to touch the field no more. I mean, and that wasn't me being funny. Like, anybody who played with me or watched me play, they'll tell you. I had double figures in every game I played in tackles except 2. And that was only because Coach took me out in one of them because we were playing a running team. And he should have just left me in. I mean, the pass team, he should have just left me in there. LSU, 12 tackles. Tennessee, 19 in the sack. That was my every week's performance with a great defensive line. The Cornelius Griffins, the Kenny Smiths, the Kendall Moorheads, the Jerry Johnson. So I just wouldn't let nothing slide. And they knew if we weren't going to make this tackle quick to get out of the way, because that dude coming.
I know we got a limited amount of time with you, Eric, so I'm going to ask you 2 questions. 1, what was your best memory from playing Alabama? And 2, did The Rock ever give you tickets to WrestleMania after y'all whooped his ass in 1992?
The second question, no. I never heard anything from Rock, but I did had some type of relationship with 2 Live Crew, and they definitely gave me and Cope some good deals like towards the end of the game because we put on a bet. Of course, nobody thought we was going to win. Of course, so we won. We put it on that ass, and he said I would have a limousine waiting on you guys after the game. And I didn't believe him because I was like, man, there's no way he's going to give me the time of the day and come pick me and Cope up and I guess and go have a good time. I'm one of the last ones coming off the field because I done swung my flag around. I done did all this crazy stuff. I'm overjoyed. I'm just so happy. And I see some lights peep up in the back. I said, Cope, do you see that, Cope? I said, there's some lights coming up. I said, is that? No way. We come up and 2 Live Crew, one of his bouncers or whatever, rolls down the window and said, Curry and Copeland, you guys ready? I was like, what? And they had the champagne and everything. And I don't remember that night, but hey, it was a blast. So.
Luke had rented out a club for the Miami people to have a party. But since we whooped their ass so bad and so convincingly, he turned it into an Alabama party. I give Luke a lot of credit. He shook our hand and said we were the better team tonight.
Hey, Eric, I'll give you a funny story, though. When we played in the Orange Bowl, we spent quite a bit of time down there at the Rolex with those guys.
Hey, I did too, brother. Too much time.
For those who don't know, that's not a watch store.
That's some cheek store.
Adult entertainment.
What was your next question, my man?
I'm sorry. Overall, your best memory from Alabama.
win the national championship game. I mean, it's you can't beat that, man. That's the most memorable moment I had as a Alabama player and as a unit, because we were up against the odds and nobody thought we could win, should win. It was just a different approach that we took to the game, and people, most of the time when we would come out, it would be Coach Stallings would say prayer, and everybody come out as a unit, as like the whole team. But this time, everybody came out separately, kind of walked up, about 5 people here, about 3 people here, about 10 people here. And when we hit that field, it was like the WWF, WWE, man. It was like it's on and popping out. And so that was one of my most memorable moments. The reason why I came to Alabama is because of Derrick Thomas and their history of Alabama defense. And I wanted to play, be like Derrick, run like Derrick, and everything else, So some wild moments with our crew.
We appreciate you, brother, and we'll get you back on here shortly so we can try again. Definitely hear some of those stories. But yeah, we appreciate everything you did, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Talk to us about Smith Infinity.
Smith Infinity of Huntsville. That's right. If you're in the Huntsville area or you're anywhere in Alabama, or if you're watching this show, the number is scrolling below at all times. You're looking for a new ride, looking for that sporty QX60. Maybe you want to get that big ride, that QX80. Man, give them a call today. Great family, great Bama family, part of the RV Nation. That's Smith Infinity of Huntsville, Alabama. Give them a call today after the show, of course, and get you in a new ride before that football season so you can get down to T-Town in style.
All right, let's give a shout out to Jimmy Clay. $20. Thank you, Jimmy. We greatly appreciate you. The bookends. Y'all can't come to Miami and just take talent anymore. Those days are over. We shall see about that. Kelly Weathersby, thank you so much for the $19.99. What impact did it have on you and Coach DeBose will line up on offense and go up against the defense mad as hell with no pads in practice?
Dubose was a special character. I'll say that. I had the pleasure of playing under Dubose. He was definitely different. What do they say? Somebody full of piss and vinegar? There you go.
He could get you fired up enough to run through a wall. I love his pregame speeches.
But thank you, Kelly. We greatly appreciate you. Don Parker, $20, the best defensive end tandem in Bama history. Roll Tide. Thank you, Don. There are plenty of stories about Antonio Langham. We'll get to those for sure. Kelly Weathersby, $19.99. The 91-92 teams are a huge testament to Curry's ability to recruit the best players with the same amazing, selfless, gritty mindset.
Yeah, Coach Curry doesn't get a lot of credit for the talent he brought into Alabama.
Yeah, I've never understood why fans have turned against him, and whenever they reference him, it's always with disdain.
Because he couldn't beat Auburn.
That's it.
They'll do it. All right. Don Parker, don't stop. Get it. $2. We greatly appreciate you. Well, we'll stop tonight, but we'll never stop long term. And that's going to do it for all of us here at the Bama Standard. Before we let everyone go, we're going to have you follow the cast. So I'll go around the room. Marvin, tell folks how they can find you. Then we'll go to Derrick and over to Pettey.
You can find me on Instagram, Constant45. You can find me on X, Constant45 with the 1. Constant451.
Derrick.
You can find me on Instagram, DLassic_25. Facebook, D-Lassic.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you reactivated your MySpace, but we'll go with that. Pettey.
Pettey_Daniel here on Tuesday nights.
Awesome. Well, that'll do it for us. Listen, we got a lot of great guests lined up. I heard we may have Deuce on here at some point, so y'all stay tuned for that one. But until next week, always support this great channel. Roll Tide, folks.